At least redeemed himself in your eyes with that level of performance.
Yeah, without a doubt, he really put the pressure on it. Early doors, it looked like he was getting picked apart with real clean counter punches from Bentley like that. You know, he was slipping and countering beautifully, but his will to win and his desire, he's just grinding forward, walking through Bentley's massive punches. Just like that, he was taking concussive punches, and other than the knockdown, he was able to withstand all of the head and body assault from Bentley. I don't think Bentley'd ever been in this position before. Obviously, I'd never been past 6 rounds. It was a very new experience for him, and it was, you know, he showed in the later rounds, taking big shots.
Well, this is a great point, David, about the later rounds, and one of the intricacies, as we all know, of the scoring is actually if we had the opportunity to break it down round by round and find out, for example, Frank, did that late surge by Bentley put him back on level terms?
Well, that'd be interesting to know. I think it did, because I think that, you know, those, you know, the later rounds, you say about 2 or 3 of them, Tommy emphatically won a couple of those rounds. No doubt about that. I
definitely feel Bentley's power after round 6 started to dissipate. He was really crisp and sharp and looking like he was hurting Heffron early, but unfortunately, obviously, the pace showed, and he was on retreat mode. It's hard to counterpunch when you're on the ropes continuously. When he was holding the centre ring, turning southpaw and throwing that shot down the pipe, it was working really nice. But I'd love to see a rematch. It was a very evenly matched fight, and I'd love to see him do it again.
It was, and Denzel in that last round, you know, he won the last round. There's no doubt about that. But it's got all the ingredients for a rematch.
Absolutely, and you know, we were talking about Alan Minter, sadly not with us anymore, but one thinks back to that era. He fought Kevin Finnegan 3 times. It was a rivalry in that era, Frank, was it not, which just inspired so many people to become more interested in boxing. And you know, these two fellas here, they might have a little something going on going forward, but they look like they're all friends right down there in the great tradition right now. Steve is going to try and get in and speak to both of them.
Looks can be deceptive, I can assure you. Now, because B comes before H in the alphabet, I'm going to come to you first. Denzel, what did you think when a draw was announced?
I thought I won it, but I did, you know, first time doing 10 rounds, I fell asleep in the middle of the fight a little bit, and he managed to pick up the pace a little bit, and then I think I managed to draw it back towards the end. And I thought, obviously, the knockdown would have pushed me on to at least win it by a point or 2.
And Mark, what about you? Denzel thought he could have won it by a point or 2, the knockdown being decisive. How did you see it? You got more experience. What did you think?
100% I won that fight. And then the round he won was the round that he caught me. So I outworked him for every round. You know what I mean? I outworked him for every round. He caught me with the odd jab. That was it.
Yeah, but work rate on with fights. I was landing the cleaner shots. I thought I landed the cleaner shots. I moved when I needed to. Well, maybe being in the weight corner has something to do with it, but it is what it is.
So, listen, that's terrific. So it's work rate, it's quality, it's this, that, and the other. Let's ask you one thing. You first, Mark. Mark, David Hay, Frank Warren are talking about a rematch. What about you?
Yeah, definitely rematch, 100%.
Denzel?
100%. That's my first time doing 10 rounds. The next time I'm experienced doing the rounds, and it'll be a different fight.
All right, fellas, touch gloves. You can go and do what you've got to do. Thanks very much indeed, Denzel and Mark. There's not much of a crowd, but it's a standing ovation down here, Paul, a standing ovation.
Well, these are all people who work in their various professional roles within the industry of boxing. They know what they're watching and they know what they've seen tonight. Maybe the birth of a great new British middleweight rivalry. We must move on.